Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of the SaintsPrime Podcast. It's with me, Ollie.
Harry.
Jamie. Mikey. That's really
Oh, dear.
Our first rendition of Skype.
It's me, Ollie.
Yeah, I kind of forgot who I was then.
We don't know what order we're in because we're in the different parts of the screen for
Exactly.
different
Last
things.
week,
So,
We're in different places across the
Harry,
country.
but this time it doesn't really work like that, does it?
no.
So I can't really
We
do it.
update the listeners where everyone's located now.
Yeah, go on then. Harry, do you want to go first?
I'm currently in Derbyshire. That's right. I'm in Derbyshire University doing football journalism. So I'm the professional in this
right,
podcast
okay.
now. Officially.
Oliver?
I'm in Bristol at the moment. I'm doing aerospace engineering. Jamie, what are you doing?
In London.
Oh my God,
Oh,
said anyone else?
Come off your card for you, you
I'm in
know.
London, living it life in the big city,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
doing digital film production.
Ooh, right. Mikey, what are you doing?
Football science at Solent. So
Yeah.
I stayed in sunny Southampton.
There you
of
go.
course. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, right. Introductions over. What should we go into first?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Yeah, let's do it
Yeah.
in order.
Chronologically.
Let's do it in order. Yeah.
I want to know what Angus Gunn and Yannick Bednarek were thinking in that last goal.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
Jamie, we're doing this chronologically. Chronologically, all right.
There you go,
We're
got it.
starting with the first goal. First goal, Nathan Ake scores from the corner.
Yeah.
What do people think of the zonal marking?
Oh,
that
I
we've
hate
seen
it.
with
I don't
Watford?
understand. I don't see the positives in zonal marking. Maybe it's just me being naive, but
It
me,
leaves too many open spaces. That's the
The
problem.
thing
Yeah.
is, we're not Ralph Hasenhuttl when he has a plan. So maybe it works in some games, just maybe Bournemouth weren't the team to play against. Especially with Nathan Ake, a very strong.
But I
player.
wouldn't even say Bournemouth are that great as an aerial height. I think it's just we probably haven't used it that much, and we're quite new to it. I don't know whether it's the game to introduce it into. I don't know.
In all fairness, I do think they've scored a lot from set pieces, so they are strong in that area, but we're also weak. So
Yeah.
from what we've
I
seen,
think it's also it's strange because we were playing three centre backs that game,
Yeah.
and we didn't use any of them to mark any of their bigger players. Like Ake,
yeah.
who has a record of scoring from set pieces, he was being marked by Romeu, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Romeu's like decent in the air, but he's no better than what Vestergaard, Bednarek, or Danzo would have been. So he got beaten quite easily in the air by Ake, who did dominate us in the penalty area.
Yeah.
what's going on?
Nothing. Don't worry.
So
Carry on.
Right, okay. So
I
1-0
can just see
down.
Jamie flying across my screen.
Well, before we go into that have a look at the team sheet. You know, we go 2-0 down, and everything seems to not fall apart, but it was a bad goal to concede. You know, Harry Wilson was in there at the right time. What do you think of that goal? What on earth has happened?
Well, so we started with four at the back.
Yeah.
Where have the other two gone? Right, we're just doing this together, right?
Alright, go
We've
for it.
had four at the back at the start. We were playing Cedric at left back, Vestergaard and Bednarek as the two centre backs, and Danzo as a right back. Danzo was being done by Josh King for the entirety of the first half, and it was horrible to watch.
Yeah.
And then Cedric did okay at left back. He did all right. He didn't look completely lost, but when on the attacking sense, he couldn't put a first time ball in because he wasn't left footed. And then after the first goal, we seemed to switch to five at the back. So Danzo tucked in and Ward-Prowse came back at right wing back. And again, Ward-Prowse not a right wing back. He got
I
done
hate
by Josh.
playing right wing back. It's so annoying. The thing is with players, why isn't Valerie coming on to play? That's what confuses me.
I don't know why it came out of favour. It's just a strange thing that I don't know. Ralph kind of believed his own hype a little bit and kind of thought, I'm happy to play people out of position, and it's still gonna.
I think he makes Jan Valerie think that he is the number one man. Because I think, especially with young players, if they get their chance in the first team, they stick there for a while. They think that that's their right, and they may start slacking a bit.
Yeah.
I think maybe start so he can actually fight for his position in the team.
I think like Danzo did all right at right back and left back against Brighton and against who did he get sent off against? Was it United?
Yeah.
Like he did all right in both of those
Good
games.
tackle against the Tornado.
Like, and then when Cedric's had to play left back, he's played well at left back as well. But the problem is we tried too many new things in the same game. Too many players were playing that position, and our organisation of the defence wasn't great. I didn't think Bednarek played very well. I didn't think Vestergaard played well either. Like, our defence just looked so disorganised in that first half that it was just horrendous.
And we just lost it in the first half, really, didn't we? It wasn't even like, it's not even like we had a decent. It was just we had too much to climb upwards from.
But I don't understand why he's done it. I don't know why he's played a person that we signed for a centre back at right back that normally plays left back for us, and we had Cedric at left back who normally plays right back. It just seems a bit odd. And now,
weird.
I think he was just trying something. It didn't work. He reverted back to what it should be at half time. He brought Bertrand on. He fixed the problems, but by then it was too late. And he learned from that, and he's changed it in the Portsmouth game to be more balanced.
He sacked him 4-0.
But
we'll come on to that in a second.
In a minute.
But that first half, though, it cost us. And when you're trying to do new things with a defence against a Bournemouth team that is made for its attacking style, it concedes a lot of goals. I think they conceded more than Cardiff did last season. But now they're so good in the attacking sense. It seemed quite odd to take such a big risk when that's the only very good outlet that Bournemouth have, and that didn't just affect us defensively; it affected us offensively as well because our wing backs weren't natural in attacking. On their side.
We move on to the second half. Bertrand came on,
changed the game.
We looked good again. We looked again. I think it's not like we didn't create chances. I just felt like Bournemouth defended very well, which is a strange thing to say because Bournemouth aren't good defensively, but they did defend very well. I think 8 of our 25 shots were blocked. A lot of them had to come outside of the box as well, and when they did come in, they were blocked. And it seemed like it didn't fall for us. Like sometimes in the games, we would just get a lucky bounce or something like that, but it just didn't fall for us. And some games that happens.
What are your thoughts on the penalty, though?
I didn't. Initially, I didn't think it was a penalty. Our penalty, I didn't think it was a penalty.
Yeah.
But it's one. So Shay Adams sort of, because by the time that he was brought down by Steve Cook, it looked like he'd lost control of the ball.
Yeah. It was a really heavy touch down the byline, and he had been run in by Cook, but it's almost, was it Cook? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did go down line, but it was a heavy touch, and I wouldn't really say he was in control of the ball when it went past. But he did get pushed, I guess, slightly, and went down a little bit easy, and it's
one of those ones where if it's given, VAR isn't going to overturn it, but if it isn't given, VAR's not going to overturn it. It's one of the 50-50 decisions that VAR is for, but it won't be used in that way or respect the ref decision.
Yeah. Do you think that James Pross should let Adams have the penalty just to boost his confidence?
No. Don't change it. There's a set person who takes penalties when they get on, and I don't think that should be changed. It's sorted by the manager.
Especially such an important time in the game as well. So early on in the first half. I think that was our earliest goal up to that point. The Portsmouth game changed that, obviously. Yeah. But scoring after so little in the first half, that gave us so much confidence to go forward. It was required.
Yeah, I was thinking because if Nicolas Pepe scored his first goal for us with a penalty, because Aubameyang let him take it. Yeah. It's made me thinking, but I don't know. What was your thoughts on Chadams in that game? Because I thought he had good chances, but he never got the finishing target.
Well, looking at the Nicolas Pepe thing, he scored, I believe it was 11 out of his 12 penalties at Lille. So they weren't giving it to him risking wise. They're thinking there's a good chance that he's going to score this, and obviously he did. With Chadams, I'm still confident that he'll come through, just because he's doing so well off the ball, so well on the ball. He just hasn't been able to get that lucky strike. Maybe if he took that penalty and scored, he would have gone further on and might have scored another goal that game, maybe in the South Coast derby. But I think he's still giving us a lot, and obviously Harsnewser thinks that because he's not scored in 7-8 games, and he's still one of our main players. And he's played, I think, has he started every game so far this season in the Prem?
I think so,
yeah. So he's probably one of the only players that have done that, apart from Angus Clem.
Yeah.
But I think Shay, it's getting to the point now that he wants the goal so much that he's trying too hard. It's got to that point now, and you could see it in the Portsmouth game especially. He was taking it one touch too many. He wasn't just pulling the trigger. He was trying to get the perfect opportunity to take a shot.
Yeah.
In pre-season, he just took a shot.
It went in, yeah.
So I think he needs one to like go off his arse or something like that, and he will be fine. But he just needs one goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
I thought the second half, everyone sort of played well. I think Boufal did well. Ward-Prowse did all right. I mean, he had 7 shots in the entire game, did Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
I don't think one of them went in from the spot. Redmond came off and he was all right. He was fine as well. So, yeah. It was just like a meh game that we lost in the first half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so frustrating there that we lost it. If we lost it in the first 45, because in the second half, I think they had 2 shots. One from a free kick from Philip Billing that whistled past the post, and the second one was an open goal for Callum Wilson. So they didn't actually have an opportunity. It's what the Callum Wilson one.
He just dribbled it into the goal.
So all right, if you don't count that as a shot, then the only one they've had is a free kick that was about 35 yards out. So
no, what actually happened for the third? Because I was sat at the other end of the ground. So
the third goal,
really
their goalkeeper smashed up the pitch. Ramsdale. There was a confusion between goalkeeper and Bednarek. They collided. Neither of them touched the ball enough to take it off his path, and he just ran into an open goal, hit it in, and celebrated in front of the joyful Bournemouth fans.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, those
annoying little kids next door.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. But
Speaking of annoying kids next door, we smashed them 4-0.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Fucking
good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, the first 20 minutes, I was thinking.
I was really worried. Really worried.
Where were all of you watching the game? Because it was televised. So was the Bournemouth game. But
I was in my kitchen watching it.
Oh, okay, nice. Harry, where were you?
Your kitchen. I was in a sports bar, loving life.
Nice.
On a massive screen.
So sad.
Yeah. I was down. The students' bar down in Bristol, and they had it on 2 different projectors, all these different TVs. And it's funny because everyone was sat down. I was with a mate from Southampton watching the game, and it was funny because when Saints scored, all of us jumped up, and then all the Portsmouth fans put their heads down, and you could kind of pick out which ones were the Portsmouth and the Saints fans. And I did actually see a bloke that I recognised turned out to be a Portsmouth fan, and I said, let's just hope for a 4-0 Saints win then. And it came true, so I was pretty happy with that, to be fair. So, yeah.
I can't remember his name because I don't really know any Pompey players because they were useless. But the first shot, he kind of curved and hit it outside the post.
Marquise.
John Marquise.
No idea. They were useless. But McCarthy had a brilliant save at one point.
Oh, the one where it came down to
Brett Pittman header,
that was really good.
Brett Pittman. Yes. It was a great save, good reaction save, and it's good to see that he's still sharp, even though he's only plays 2 cup games, 2 clean sheets as well, and both games he's played
coming in.
It's quite an important role.
Coming into that game as well, not playing for a while, and then to go straight into a derby game is pretty a tall order as well. So
I'm honestly surprised Remey didn't get sent off that game.
He didn't get a card.
I know, it's ridiculous.
No.
I love the passion.
We got 1 yellow card, and that was for Bertrand on Yoshida's fight on whoever it was.
Yeah.
John Marquise.
Did you see when he elbowed Yoshida?
Yeah.
I think that was dirty.
That's why Yoshida tried to get it back as well.
Yeah. Is that the guy who's from
twice?
Well, they played it on the video, didn't they? Like as a replay. They showed him literally just run past, and as the ball's gone, it's just gone straight into the stomach. And even the commentators are saying that he's got away with it there because it's just like you see Yoshida saying to the ref, I don't normally go down for nothing, and then he literally did just get hit in the stomach.
That's just a sign of frustration. But if we go this game chronological, looking at the team sheet, what do you think when you opened up your phone and you saw 3 strikers?
I was a bit confused with 3 central strikers. We were talking about it, weren't we? We were trying to work out how we're actually playing it, but it looked like Obafemi is playing. I don't know if he was further back or just more on the ball, but it seemed like he was kind of in between. And I think it kind of worked. Like you saw the through ball for Danny Ings, and he, it was a brilliant ball when he was on the ball a little bit instead of. Wait, go on. No, go on.
I thought he should have been kept on longer. I think he should have got more of a chance.
But I think
one sprint too many for Obafemi.
His hamstring would go. Yeah, I think they used him well, and it was nice to see that he had a good bit of strength about him as well.
Nice to
Like
see.
I thought,
Held his
some
own.
youth players, you kind of think they might get battered around
The
a bit.
amount
But
of abuse he was getting as well
Yeah.
when he was taking throw-ins.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think all of our players did, but that's just the hostile environment. I know Danny Mills doesn't believe that it's a fierce derby, but you saw every time Cedric took a throw and Bertrand took a throw in, they were getting
all sorts of
ripped apart. And that's why I liked it even more that Cedric scored. But looking at the first 20 minutes, like Jamie alluded to earlier, what were your thoughts? Going through that, us getting just dominated?
I was really worried until the first goal. I was really worried that they're going to nick something, because always in the derby, it's never been a really amazing goal. It's always been something small, something scrappy that's gone in the back of the net, and I just thought something's going to happen there. It's going to be, just a scrappy back post goal or something. Something's just going to happen. It's going to get scrambled across the line.
Yeah, hence the McCarthy save.
I was saying, I think the goals came every single time at the exact perfect time. Like every time I was getting to really worried, we scored a goal.
Well, the thing is exactly the same as the second round. Like against Fulham, they probably had a League One level side out because they didn't start any of their best players, and all those youth players that they had wants to try and prove a point. So put all their energy into the first 20 minutes because the manager would have said go out there and try and assert dominance to try and put them under the cosh, and that's what they did. And I said to my mate at the bar, this is exactly the same as what happened last time. If we survive the first 20 minutes, we'll probably be right. We'll probably win. And I think we scored on like the 22nd or just after that minute.
Yeah,
and it was a good finish. And after that, pardon.
Sorry,
I liked the it seemed like Adams and Ings were swapping around. So it was like Ings started on the left and Adams started down the centre, and then they would swap over, because I think the first goal Ings scored down the centre where he was playing, and then he got in behind when Obafemi played him round. He was playing on the left and he got in behind very well.
Yeah.
So that was
Ings is the passion he had as well.
I
loved
so
it.
good.
The Southampton lad from Winchester. Loved it.
Yeah, that first goal, I do think that Craig McGilvray, their goalkeeper, needs to practice his handling, because the amount of time he either pushed it back into a dangerous area, or just he didn't hold the ball. Like that's what happened for the first goal.
When it was that first shot, like we kind of realised that we've got to be getting shots away. Yeah. When was it? Was it the first shot by Ings where he parried it straight out like that?
Yeah.
Is that their first choice keeper then?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. Like you can be scrappy and play Route 1 football out on the pitch, but it's really, if you've got a defence and goalkeeper that aren't up to scratch, that different class shows. I think that's kind of what happened.
It was two quite different games, the Bournemouth game and the Portsmouth game, because in the Bournemouth game we created a lot and we didn't finish them off.
Yeah.
And then in the Portsmouth game we didn't create as much as we did in the Bournemouth game, but our shots were good.
Yeah.
And they went in.
And we were playing a good striker rather than Che Adams. Then he should be starting every game.
Che Adams is starting. No, you can't go on the back of it. He's literally played about 8 games, all right?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I just like to be controversial, you know.
Yeah. He's throwing a grenade in there, seeing if he'll get any.
I prefer to see Shane Long up front than Che Adams.
Well, like you said, Shane Long did make a little cameo at the end.
A little cameo. He ran around a bit, like Shane Long
does. He passed it to him for the 4th one. He was.
Oh dear. I think Ings probably was the most influential player in that first half. You know, his first goal, nice little turn into the bottom corner. Maybe a Premier League goalkeeper would have saved that, and maybe if we're against Bournemouth, Ramsdale might have said that, because it wasn't right in the corner and it didn't have a lot of speed on it.
It went through about 4 or 5 bodies as well. Yeah. So the keeper was short-sighted, couldn't really see it. I don't think it's down to poor keeping.
No, I'm not saying poor keeping. I mean, it could have been. So it might have been saved if there was a better goalkeeper.
You could say that about any shot that is taken that could have been saved.
Yeah, it could have been.
All 3 of Bournemouth's goals could have been saved. We still lost 3-1, Harry.
Well, yeah. I think I know what Harry's saying though. Is that different class? Those shots that
that's why
coming off quickly and stuff like that. It's just that little bit of
so much
difference in reactions. It's just,
anyone that supports Pompey's,
Danny Ings quickly on the turn. A Premier League keeper might be able to get down to it a little bit quicker, and that's what we had to do. We had to put away shots and show that difference in class, really.
Yeah, and then nothing much happened until that second goal. It was a great ball by Obafemi, and De Bruyne would be happy with that. And so, it's the composure of Danny Ings, which is the most impressive thing.
saw a tweet saying if Kevin De Bruyne did that pass, we talked about all week.
Possibly, yeah. But when did you guys feel comfortable in the game? Like when was the
Danny
point?
Ings' first goal.
1-0. Yeah.
Wow,
I'd say I was happy at 1, comfortable at 2, but wouldn't admit it because I know we've lost from better situations.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I was truly comfortable at about 2-0 in the second half when we were maintaining possession. When we had that spell of we were just passing and it seemed like the players just calmed down, and then I could kind of relax and thought, yeah, we're on top of this now. Because I thought always around that situation, it seemed like something was going to happen.
Felt completely comfortable at 90 minutes because you knew that we couldn't throw it away at that point.
Yeah, that was quite nice as well.
Yeah. Third goal, my favourite goal of the night, because you don't know what Cedric was doing. He was right back.
Why he was up there, I've got no clue.
Played in the centre, took over Højbjerg's role, went into the centre, then drifted over to the left-hand side and got at the end of a Danny Ings cut back.
It's not until I realised he was on the left-hand side of the byline, which is the complete opposite side to where he's meant to be playing.
Or maybe it was Ralph's idea all along and you just didn't realise.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be starting up front against Tottenham on the weekend.
Danny Ings needs to start against Tottenham.
Yeah, he probably will.
If he's fit, then yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Danny Ings is always fit. I don't know what about.
Not quite. But yeah, I think that third goal was a poacher goal. You know, he found that space and he just sort of not toe punted, but just poked it in, and that's when you really knew game over, finished, done. They've not got any chance because with Portsmouth, it did seem like the only high quality chance they had, apart from the McQuee's chance when it hit the bottom of the post, was from the set pieces. And if they didn't have a set piece, they just couldn't score because Brett Pittman's one came from a set piece. Not Ollie Hawkins, but Christian Burgess, I believe, that volley that just went.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I only knew about two of them.
Take time to look at.
I went to college with loads of Portsmouth fans. I understand. I can understand.
Do we like the name and shame while we're here?
No one wants to admit that they're a Portsmouth fan.
No one wants to be associated with that, do they?
The amount of talk people on Twitter are saying, even though we won 4-0, we're still louder than you.
Yeah.
Get away.
Yes, that is how it works when
if you've got 10 times as many people in there, like.
But they really are silly.
Yes, they can be.
2,000 people are going to make a lot more noise in a full stadium.
Yeah.
Just let them have something, Jeremy. Let them have something.
Can't do it to myself.
Yeah.
The fourth goal really showed the class between the two sides because of Redmond's turn of pace.
Yeah.
Started 5-6 yards away from the defender, still managed to get round and get the ball past him. And then tucked one over to the bottom left-hand corner. That was just really nice.
Yeah.
It's just really, really nice to see that it impacts off the bench. I'm surprised we didn't use a third sub. But,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, I wasn't that happy when they brought Redmond on there because I thought he had a knock and there was no. I think we were 3-0 at the time. There's no real need, and I was like, if he gets injured, because all they want to do now, they're not going to want to try and boot someone, and that's what they did for Yoshida and the elbow in the stomach. So I was a bit concerned when they brought him on, but thankfully he got the goal.
Who's left on the bench?
You had Valerie Armstrong, Boufal, Jack Stevens.
Boufal would have been a nightmare for Portsmouth.
No, I wouldn't have thought Boufal. I said I wouldn't have
get injured.
Redmond on because they wouldn't affect the game. They wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
We went out there with quite stocky physical players. Boufal wouldn't have got anything in that game because he doesn't do well in the physical games.
Yeah.
So. That's why away at Burnley, there's no point in playing Boufal because he's just not gonna affect the game. He's just gonna get bullied off the ball.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Okay, shall we wrap that bit up there? Do you want to move on to the Spurs game next Saturday?
Actually, we'll have a look. Have a guess who we're going to get in the next round of the Carabao Cup.
God, we haven't even had
I don't know. Well, it's tonight, isn't it? So we're recording.
Well, knowing our luck, we're going to get City away.
Who's in? Harry, can you find out who's in?
I can have a
Well,
quick
there's a second lot of fixtures to be played.
Yeah, it's quite difficult
I
when
think
there's
it's
that's why I've thrown the curveball in there.
I
See what happens.
Tottenham. Oh wait, Tottenham got knocked out.
Jason, you're hilarious. Mate.
I'm hoping for Aston Villa away if they get through. But
Crawley would be quite nice. Didn't they beat Stoke?
Yeah, they beat Stoke and they beat Norwich as well. So on a good patch of form in the Carabao Cup. I can't find it because the Wi-Fi here isn't fantastic, I must say.
I'll read you who through so far. You got Everton, Leicester, Crawley, City, Watford, Colchester, us, and Arsenal basically, and then you've got Oxford, West Ham playing, Burton, Bournemouth, Wolves, Reading, Sheffield United, Sunderland.
West Ham playing at home.
Away from home, so it'll be interesting.
Brighton, Villa, Chelsea, Grimsby, MK Dons, Liverpool, United, Rochdale. So
Leicester away. I think we'll get Leicester away.
Leicester away, that'd be good actually. Mm-hmm. Isn't that near you? Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want them because that'll be a very difficult game. That'll be a very difficult game.
West Ham away, so I can walk 2 minutes across my house and go.
Tickets will probably be cheap for that as well because that's where they cap their season tickets to like £100. So
yeah, I'm going. Hopefully, I'm going to go to the Tottenham game, West Ham and Palace.
Very nice.
I think we'll get either Sheffield United or Sunderland, whoever wins that game. Because that seems like it's a Premier League team again, that kind of area, or Sunderland, which is quite a difficult game to go to. I think it'll be one of those two.
Sunderland are such an underrated side, IMO. If they just had the right, people in their board, if they had the right people in their board, they'd be a lot better.
Yeah,
they'd be definitely in the Premier League right now.
Okay, so I'm going Sunderland. Was it Sunderland, Sheffield United?
Away or home?
I think it'll be away.
50-50.
I think it'll be away.
You always get away games.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's
weird. Leicester away.
And we do Leicester away as well.
I think Leicester away.
West Ham.
Okay, yeah, it's just because you're close. Yeah. Mikey,
shall we move on to Tottenham?
Apparently he doesn't like making predictions.
What's the point? There's like 8 fixtures that haven't been played yet. What's the point?
That's the fun for a straw. God, right, okay. Spurs game then. Oh, right.
Yeah, I guess
I'm not happy about fantasy football, and I know that we're going to talk about that.
Wait, why do we do the Spurs game then? Why do we do the Spurs game?
We'll do the Spurs game. So they've just come off the back of an embarrassing defeat against Colchester. Do you think that will help them or hinder them bounce back, or do you think that will put even more pressure on them that they'll crumble?
I'm worried
pressure of the Saints.
They're at home. You're going to have the home fans. I feel like a side of that professionalism should hopefully have a bounce back performance. I think the first team are going to want to prove their worthiness and that they actually can play. And I think it will be a tough game because obviously I don't think they're going to crumble. I think it's going to be a difficult game.
I think it could be a battering, or we can get like a cheeky 1-0 win. It's one of those ones. 100%. I think I was not saying it's a game, but Danny Ings is on form now. He wants to prove to Ralph. No, not saying he wants to prove to Ralph he can be our goal scorer. Hence, he got 2 points, 1 against Liverpool. He wants to be that man, and this will be his chance to prove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael?
I was just going to have a look at the Tottenham team that played.
Okay. Right, Harry. Then, do you want to get?
He seems absolutely delighted.
Oh, did you see how much Victor Wembanyama got abused by Tottenham fans?
Really?
He had a horrific performance. And they all him out. He's actually trending number 5 worldwide Twitter.
Really? Couldn't have been that bad. I didn't concede.
No, he played bad.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't Tottenham fans anyway.
To be fair, I don't think the objective for Tottenham against Colchester to not concede. I don't think that's the.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were playing 3 defensive midfielders for the game as well. Like against Colchester, you kind of hope you'd have a little bit more confidence in your.
Well, in the end, they did have Son on the pitch. They had Eriksson, they had Lamella, they had Gazaniga. They had their best players.
Gazaniga and Bamiora. 2 favourite ex-Saints players.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll bounce back with a performance. I think as much as I want to say we're going to win, I can see it being a 1-0, 0-0 sort of scrappy game because they can't lose because otherwise they'll be really really under the cosh.
Pochettino will be out of the job.
I think that's harsh on Poch. He's just got to a Champions League final.
Yeah.
But that's the way football is, to be fair. That is the way football is. I wouldn't be surprised.
What's the guy in charge of Spurs called? He's bold.
What, Daniel Levy?
He's like a...
Yeah. I don't know.
Who else could they get, though? Who's better than Pochettino?
Claude Puel. He doesn't have a job yet.
Mark Hughes doesn't have a job yet as well.
Maybe Alan Pardew.
If you listen to Pochettino after the game, he was talking about internal conflicts and cliques and things like that within his squad. And it seems interesting that he's bringing that up now. I don't know. He's obviously got players in there who have not, people like Dele Alli and stuff like that who were on fire and who wanted to remain in the team. You've got Eriksen who wanted to leave. You've probably got quite a disruptive squad in there at the moment. So,
I think it's very difficult to motivate a side after losing a Champions League final as well.
Yeah.
They probably didn't have the quality to get there, yet they still did.
Yeah.
And how difficult it will be to get there again with the squad that they've got.
Yeah.
I think they'll find it tough this year to actually motivate. I think they'll still get top 4 this year, but they're going to find it tough to motivate themselves.
I wouldn't be surprised if you think he does one more season, gets them Champions League football, gets them as an established Champions League side, and then moves off to Real Madrid because it's a Spanish team. They need revitalising. That's kind of what Pochettino does. He doesn't really. I don't think he's a kind of stable manager. I think he needs to go in, implement his style, get them going, and then move on again. I think he could really start a legacy at Real Madrid because they're just tatters at the moment. But you think a decent pressing style, he's from Spain. He'd like it there. He's got his coaching staff and things like that. They're also around that area. So I think, that could be a sensible decision for him. And if it's going flat at Tottenham, why would he not turn down Real Madrid? I think probably a decent decision for him. So, yeah.
Well, looking specifically at the game that we're going to play, who do you think's going to come in from that Portsmouth game? So we had quite a few strong faces on the bench. I know Ralph said he played this full strength team, but we didn't have Vestergaard in the 18. Neither did
I think he'd be sick in that game, Vestergaard.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why he rested him, to be fair, because he don't want to risk an injury. So who do you think's going to come in? Who do you think's going to come out?
I'd love to see Yoshida start against Tottenham.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'd like to see Yoshida and Ben Narek play together because I think they could become a really good partnership. Bertrand
I do also want Yannick to keep playing, though. Do you reckon 5 at the back will be the position we play?
I think that's pretty what will happen because, like I said, they're quite an attacking team.
Yeah.
And can be quite scary as well, Parry came from.
Yeah.
If we go 5 at the back, I can see Danso starting.
Possibly, yeah.
Ralph likes switching systems halfway through games, and Danso being able to play at centre back and right back, I think he'd like to do that.
Yeah. Do you reckon Bertrand will keep his left back spot, or do you reckon he'll come back out?
I hope Bertrand keeps his left back spot. Because I think we're just a lot more balanced with him there.
Yeah.
And I can see the midfield 3 staying the same and Redmond coming in for Obafemi.
Yeah,
I think
that sounds good. Yeah.
I think that's how we'll start.
Okay, decent.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. So do you not think Buffon will play?
I don't think Buffon will get in. With Ings playing how he played against Portsmouth and Shea Adams being Hasenhüttl's love child, I don't think that he'll get in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be very harsh if he drops Ings for Buffon.
Yeah, I don't think he'll do that, especially off the back of such a strong performance. Because if Ings himself will have momentum going into the game.
And the match performance, may I add, as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Gineppo's fit, he'll come in for Shea Adams, but
it's whether he's fit.
I don't think he'll be fit.
No, I don't think he'll test.
And there's no need to rush him back either, because he's been struggling with a similar injury earlier, I believe, anyway. So we'll just get him recovered fully, and then.
Do we know what it is, or?
I think it was a muscle injury. So
I think it's a strain.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Groin, maybe. We're not too sure now.
Yeah, not sure. Okay, do you want to quickly talk about fantasy? I know some of you won't, but...
don't get me started.
I don't really want to. I really don't want to.
Sorry?
I captained Raheem Sterling.
Who'd you have as your vice?
Yeah, same.
I had De Bruyne, so it wasn't that bad.
Oh, you say that, and you got
you're
37
complaining
points off.
so much.
It's just Sterling 0 points on the bench.
Yeah, but then you mean De Bruyne would have been your captain then, wouldn't he? So if anything, that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, take that back. Yeah, De Bruyne was my captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. So how many points did you get in total then, Jamie?
62.
62. I got 65, so I was quite happy with that. I think it was quite harsh. The average was 52 this week, and I got 65, so I was above the average.
So game week 4, I made a massive mistake and benched Kelly, and he got 6 points.
Kelly, what? 6 points? That's not that. It's not that much.
Only got
for a defender.
Only got 67 points that week, so it was a nightmare.
Okay, yeah, fair play. Only good performance I had, is it Lundstrom? Lundstrom from Sheffield United got me 12 points. De Bruyne got me 17. Salah got me 10 as my captain. And then all 3 of my strikers blanked. Pookie, Abraham King, all blanked. So, not great, but...
I don't want to talk about it. Eric Peters was my highest scorer.
Harry You're 11th in our private league. What's that about?
No, I'm 13th.
Yeah.
We've got I Hate Mark FC in Boston as well.
All I've got is red arrows on my right hand side. All the leagues that I'm a part of. It's all red arrows. It's
big shout out to Jamie Owen, who's top of the league.
Yeah. Who's 4th though, Jamie?
4th. Don't know that guy.
Oh right, okay, fair play.
No one cares.
However, the highest scorer from last week is Nathan Shelley, who 85 points. 85 points. Captained De Bruyne, you know.
Yeah, nice.
He had Maddison with 10, Edison with 7, Alexander-Arnold with 7, Yoss with 9, Wilson with 6, everyone else ones and twos.
I just noticed someone's nicked my name on here. Someone else is called Cruise Control, and he's 87th.
Oh,
what's that about?
No.
He's nicked my name. That's a joke. Like,
what a shame.
Yeah.
I like how sincere you sound, James. upset about that.
Well, yeah. So, how are you? Whereabouts are you guys in the SaintsPrime League?
I'm not going to look at it, to be honest.
I'm trying to check.
I'm at 4th at the moment, so I'm pretty happy.
How many people are actually there?
I've got absolutely no idea.
It's have a look for you,
There's 121.
121, yeah.
Oh god,
it's easier to start at the bottom looking for you, isn't it, Mikey?
There
you go. Yeah, Mikey, 104 out of 120 ever.
Yeah.
89.
89. Okay.
Oh dear, I shouldn't have played. I made a rash decision. I played my
70.
I'm 70, so
it's not bad. It's not bad.
Not for me anyway. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Okay, nice.
Thank everyone for listening to the SaintsPrime Podcast.
We ended it here then, are we, Jamie?
Are we going there? Do you want to do the outro?
It seems like it.
Go on then. If you've had enough, then.
If you've had enough, then fair enough.
We'll go then. If you've got somewhere to be. Well, okay.
I just say we normally finish at fantasy football. That's all, wasn't it?
Okay. Well,
and you just chat it off like that.
I'll double check. I'll
double
check if we've got any questions because we only had about an hour for the questions.
If they do want to send some questions, Harry, for next week, how can they do
that? If you go on the SaintsPrime Instagram, I will just put it on Monday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever day we have it, you'll be able to submit your questions. And this is. Sorry.
Just go. Carry on.
We'll have it on Monday morning. Sorry, Mike was readjusting something.
Yeah.
And you can put your questions in there, SaintsPrime on Instagram, and we've actually got over 11,000 followers now, so it's decent. And no questions. So.
Okay. Decent.
You sure there's no questions?
Yeah.
No questions. Okay. And then we've got Twitter as well. Harry, how they get in touch?
SaintsPrime Pod. We don't normally use it that much, but if you want to know when the podcast goes up.
To be fair, I normally put up when the new podcast is out. So and there's links on that stuff on there as well.
Decent.
Just keep it
on.
Yeah.
Guy.
Okay.
That's our socials.
Right. So Jamie, do you want to do the outro? It's just so keen.
Everyone, thank you very much for listening to SaintsPrime Podcast. It's been me, Jambino.
Harry, I'll go for it.
Yeah, I went Ollie, and then
Mikey.
Yay! Someone definitely needs a nap.
What do you mean?
See you next time.
I've got to work in 50 minutes. So.